We're here at the opening of the Beverly Hills Television and Radio Museum.
Yes.
It's March 19th, 1996. People are arriving. I'm not giving interviews. I'm giving interviews. Oh.
I got the Channel 4 thing.
Interview. Beverly Hills Historical Society and local Beverly Hills TV.
Yes, how nice to see you. Isn't this a very special night in Beverly Hills? This magnificent building, which is going to be a landmark building, I think, in the United States. We're thrilled that Richard Myers and the Television Radio Museum came together and wanted to use this corner, so prominent right here in our hometown.
Can you tell me what the significance is of having this museum in the heart of the entertainment?
Well, I think that is the significance, that it's tied directly to the entertainment industry, that it is in the heart of Beverly Hills, which is where the stars live and enjoy their lives. And it's very appropriate to have these wonderful archives here, and we're very excited. Can't wait to see all the shows that we've enjoyed all these years.
How about the economy in Beverly Hills? How do you think it will affect that?
It's up, all up and all good.
Thank you.
Offended.
I think it's incredible. I think it's definitely a bright spot on Beverly Drive.
No, I think with the television industry based out here, it's great to have a monument to all the good and hard work that goes on out here and all the television that gets produced.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Conway. Can you say something about...
Wow, wonderful things. Oh, gosh. Hey, listen now, don't argue with poor Lesley. She's just starting out here. Now let's leave her alone. You know, what is this, your father?
Yes, it's my father.
Yeah. This is a home station you have at the house, in the garage.
No, this is for the Beverly Hills Historical Society and the local Channel 10 and Channel 6.
Right, and what a novel idea to have a cattle prod.
I'd like to ask you a
Yes.
question. What do you think the impact is on having this museum in the entertainment capital of the world?
Well, it sure slows traffic down. We've known that now, right now, haven't we? I mean, you can hardly get down here. I think it's great that, obviously, it's about time we had one. They have one in New York already, and now we have this, and it's just great. I haven't been inside, but it's painted and everything. It looks beautiful.
Do you think that this will have a significant impact on the economy here at Beverly Hills?
Absolutely. I don't know. Well, because actors are going to be rushing down here to see themselves. Anytime you put an actor on tape and give them an opportunity to come down and see themselves, this thing will be loaded all day long, just with us. You know, I know I'm going to be here tomorrow early to see myself.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good...
I think it reflects that television is a significant historical part of everyone's lives, and that there are a lot of tremendously creative people who've contributed to it. It sort of honors and shows all that went into what is now television. A moment in TV history I'd love to see again. Boy, I don't know. A ridge of terrible events, so I don't really want to see them again, but they're burned in my memory. I'm wonderful. Now that I got this shot. Thank you.
We'll know the significance of this museum better in 100 or 200 years when students from all over the world will come to learn to study what it was that changed the world's culture so. But it couldn't be more important in a very serious way. And then it's important for entertainment also. It would make me very happy to know people are looking at the things we had such a good time doing. Sure.
What's in here is the first radio shows we did, first television shows, first CNN shows, the pro-Gore debate, the pros appearances, all the Clinton interviews, Sinatra interviews here, Streisand, a lot of interviews are here. A lot of collection work and a lot of early radio shows are here.
How does it feel to have it all in one place like this?
Well, it's great. It's in New York too and in Chicago. We have two other museums. Not as pretty as this. It's great to be in a museum, but it is kind of ominous to know what am I doing in a museum? I'm a young guy. It's a thrill. Everything will be popular. Kids love coming. It's a great place to study because with the computers you get such access to so many things.
I wish we in this century had images like the one we're preserving of centuries past. I wish I knew what it was really like to be in the Middle Ages. I get word pictures in history books, but I don't get this vivid, visual, auditory image that I get from television and radio. I think we all have a collection of images that, at least in this country, that are very vivid to us. We have the day Kennedy was assassinated. We remember Walter Cronkite taking off his glasses and wiping his eyes, and that young man in China who stood in front of the tank, the white Bronco. I mean, there are visual images that are not only powerful images, but they carry with them enough meaning that you could talk about those images and the day those things occurred that those images come from. You could talk about that for hours and hours. You could really get under those, and those are just single images. There's a lot here that people can learn from, and this is a new kind of library. And there are things that are just personal to me. One of my first jobs was with Phil Silvers on the Bilko show. And a few years ago, I went to the museum with one of my daughters, and we watched that show. And she saw me acting at an age younger than she was when we watched it. And it was really fun, just on a very personal level, to be able to share a moment of my past with my daughter. And that's what people can do. They can take their kids in and see Ernie Kovacs, who was brilliant, but whose work you don't see anymore. And those kids wouldn't be exposed. Steve Allen. I mean, Steve Allen, geniuses like that, and Sid Caesar. People can come with their kids, and many kids come through here in school groups and learn about entertainment from the past. And so do writers who are writing for current programs. I mean, the writing staff of the David Letterman show studied the Kovacs tapes in New York many times. They would go in and check out the tapes and look at them, because Kovacs was an innovator in using visual images in television for comic effect. And modern writers are learning from the past in this museum. So television can get a little better because of this museum. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
You must be in this museum.
I would think so.
What are you most
I haven't been in there yet.
You haven't been in it? When you go in, what are you going to take a look at?
I look at the old red button show, that's all, and then I'm leaving.
That's it?
Because I don't care about anybody else. I am selfish, that's the way I've been, and that's the way I'm going to be. I think it's wonderful. I mean, for people to go in there and take a look at the history, because, the young kids, they didn't make it up. We were there before them, and there were others before me. It's good to preserve it. Yes, sir.
Beverly Hills Historical Society.
That's it.
Well, what do you think the significance is of the museum as far as relating to Beverly Hills is concerned?
Well, I think it's wonderful, because people walk around here and they look like they're in a wax museum. Now they're going to see a little life.
You're in this museum, aren't you?
I'm in this museum.
What's in there that you're most proud of?
Oh, the 5 years I spent with Mary Tyler Moore and Carl Reiner, of course. And I think it's a great where there'll be a lot of off the street traffic. People will wander in there, but
they're cutting the ribbon.
They're cutting the ribbon. Oh, are we supposed to do that?
On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the staff of the Museum of Television and Radio, and all those assembled up here who helped make it possible, and all of you, and all of those who will come to value this great institution, I hereby declare the official opening of the Museum of Television and Radio of California, and on 3, we're going to cut the ribbon. 1, 2, 3.
What do you think the impact is having this museum in the heart of the entertainment community?
Well, it'll save all those expensive trips to New York. All my tapes, not all my tapes, which is the name of one of the most popular situation comedies, All My Tapes. Remember that? the man who did all my sons and all my microphones.
Here, we'll help you. I'll hold one. You hold the other.
Okay.
We'll do this like we'd been in show business for 2 weeks. No.
Where was I?
You were talking about whether or not, how important it is to have it here. It's very important because in New York, they did 3 months of Steve's retrospective of all his early shows, The Tonight Show, which he created, and it was the most attended of any of the stars, and still is. Everybody goes in to see those early Tonight Show days.
Actually, there's a slight misunderstanding on that, with all due respect to my wife. I pay due respect to my wife about 8 times a day. But be that as it may, and I doubt that it was, when Jane says that we drew the biggest crowds. Thank you, sir. No more people showed up, but those who did show up were enormous. Some of the biggest, fattest people you ever saw are my fans.
No, it was really very exciting because that was the golden age of television.
Also, Jane is very easily excited. I think it will have enormous impact for obvious reasons. The world of literature and philosophy must have its books. The world of science must have its books. And the world of television and radio must have its audio and visual tapes. So it's inevitable that this would be constructed here. I just wish it had been around 20 years earlier, but thank goodness we have it now.
And it's a good idea because look what happened to films, you know?
Yeah, so many have been lost.
So many have been lost.
2 of my dogs were lost a week ago. But
thank you very much.
Tradition, you rely on as you go back to, you learn always from what you did. You never learn from what you're going to do. It's a great, but television affects more people than anything else, you know. Television is what must make, if it's not on television today, it didn't happen because it's unfortunate. Well, I think it's going to be wonderful. You can go there and see any program you want. You know, you can look it up. You can see, not only look it up, you can see it.
What will be your first program that you'll watch?
Well, I'd rather not say. There's a lot of great programs, believe me. A lot of wonderful programs.
Well, I think it's appropriate that this museum be located now in Los Angeles, where television is mostly made, and there is a museum in New York. I'm on the board of it, and I think it will just become increasingly important to the community. It's exactly where it should be, and the building itself is spectacular, and I think it'll assume a real focal point in Los Angeles.
So many of these, classic and great shows and don't live in New York gives you an opportunity to walk into the museum and see things that are 30 or 40 years old, which with those of us who've lived in New York know how valuable the museum has been there, and it's really terrific to have it out here.
The galleries, the Margot Feigen galleries on Madison Avenue.
Tell me, what do you think? Tell me, what do you think?
Hi.
Stephen, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
We're going to her engagement.
And you know Ira, her dad.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I met you at the Hanukkah party.
Yeah, that's it.
So you guys have oh my God, you must be freezing.
Aren't you freezing? Interview.
No, we're going in.
It's been a construction site for the last year and a half. I want to get inside and see what it's like in there. I think if I were to seek something out, I would head right for early comedy. Go look up old Your Show shows episodes.
That museum. Are you in there? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'll come tomorrow and find out.
If you could capture something from your television history and put it in there, what would it be?
I think I'm very proud that the whole 11 years is here. Some of it stinks and some of it's quite wonderful, and I'm glad it's all here for anybody and everybody to come and look at. And as I was saying before, it's a visual library, and that's really important. And it's history, it's what's happening now, and it will be what's happening in the future. Television is very educational. You just pick up what you want to look at and look it up. It's like books. There's some books that are educational, some that aren't, but everybody to each his own. And I think this is wonderful to have this and to have this available to the West Coast.
Can we get a quick comment from you, Erin?
I'm sorry, they're heading right in. I'm sorry.
If you just get...
Oh, good. Oh, yes.
I'm thrilled to be here. I think the museum's going to be a great thing. It's about time we had a damn museum. And I have 3,000 hours in there, so somebody go and watch my work.
Thank you. Thank you.
The history of television is probably much overlooked compared to the history of film. And to have a resource as beautiful as this, as comprehensive as this, in the heart of Beverly Hills, where everyone can come and see the birth of probably the most powerful medium that has ever, probably the most powerful medium since the printing press, allowed the masses to read books. In the heart of Beverly Hills, in this highly accessible location, it'll be one of the most important resources in the city. We at MCA are happy to support the opening of this museum, to support the museum, and to be a part of the television industry. So everyone, bring your children, bring your older children, and bring your memories.